welcome to art. So let's get creative. Today we're going to be making shape monsters. You could make them with construction paper and scissors and glue if you have it. If you don't have that, you could do them with crayons, watercolor, or even markers. So let's get making some fun shape monsters today.
All right, boys and girls, so we're going to make some shape monsters. So if you have, these would be ones made with construction paper, or any type of colored paper you would have. So take your scissors and cut out a couple shapes. You could do a square monster. If you wanted to, you could do a circle monster by taking a lid or something round and tracing. And then you could cut out that shape. So our monsters are going to have things like eyes, feet, a mouth. Monsters usually have some funny teeth. We could have horns, legs, and arms on our monsters. And maybe even a tail if you want. So save your scraps. You can use them for other projects. So you could do a diamond shape by tipping it that way. You could do a circle. If I wanted to do a triangle, I would just cut from the corner up toward the center on a piece of paper. You could have a triangle shaped monster. So I'm going to do these two for my shape monsters. So then we're going to need to add some eyes. So take a piece of white paper. Whenever you want to make two of something, like 2 arms, 2 feet, 2 horns, 2 eyes, fold your paper a little bit in half. And then when you cut through both of those, you'll get 2. So I'm going to make some eyes. I'm going to cut out the best circle I can by going around and around. There's my eyes for that one. I want to make just the one eye for a cyclops. I'm going to go around and around. Now, kindergarten, so when you're holding the scissors, Mr. Pointer is always out and sitting down here. It helps you control them. And you have 3 fingers in there. We're not putting all of our fingers in. We're leaving Mr. Pointer out to sit right in that little curve. And that helps you direct your scissors into a nice circle shape by helping you support your hand. There's going to be his eye. He's a cyclops. So the inside part of the eye I'm going to do with some black, but you could use blue or any other color. So the same thing, if I need 2 circles for inside those eyes on the pink one, I'm going to fold my paper in half. And I'm going to make a smaller circle to go inside them. Or if you want to make a color inside, you could. Some people like to make 3 different circles, so you could do them like this. You can make them silly, like his eyes are up. You could do another little circle. Cut off the extra paper you don't need. So if you want to get really fancy and do it the way people have eyes, which is the white of the eye shows, and then there's the color, which is called the iris, and then there's the little black center, which is called the pupil. So I could do it like this, if you wanted to do that. So let's do some legs. I'm going to take a piece of this blue scrap again, and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to cut 2 feet out. So I'm going to come straight up, and I'm just going to make my foot kind of like the letter L, and his feet could be walking this way. Or you could have his feet going this way, however you want. I know I need to give this guy a mouth, so that's a good mouth for him. And then I can use make some little tiny triangles for teeth. This could be his little monster teeth. Oh, it looks like a little baby with 1 tooth. If I wanted to do a red mouth, I could do a red mouth. I could make it a D shape. I could make it a circle shape. I could make pointy teeth, or I could make little funny straight teeth. So I need some hands. I'm going to give my monster some arms now. I think I'll go with red arms. So again, arms, I'm going to need to fold it in half. And I'm going to cut out straight down. Maybe he's trying to scare somebody. I need to move him up. And then I'll add some arms for him as well. Again, folding in half to get two of something. Or maybe he wants wings. It's up to you. There's my hands on that guy. And if you wanted something like horns, you could take one of your scraps and I could give him some little horns. So there's a ways to make your monsters out of paper and shapes. So I'm just going to show you the best way to do this is to kind of go in reverse. So I'm going to take the mouth and I'm going to glue the teeth on the mouth first. And then I can glue the mouth to the body. If your fingers get sticky, just rub them together. Sometimes I like having a sloppy mat or a piece of paper I can glue on. There's his mouth. I'm going to do the same thing with the eyeball. And that's how you would glue them on. I hope you have a fun time making some silly monster pictures. All right, boys and girls, if you don't have the colored construction paper to cut out shapes, you can always draw and make your own shapes in something like this. So I'm going to show you how we would do that. So on your regular white paper, you could draw with a ruler and make a square or a rectangle shape that way. Just make sure you keep it nice and even. That's one way of doing it. If it gets a little crooked, you can just fix the lines. So I'm just gonna make it this line and then get rid of these little ones up here. Another way of doing it would be to trace a piece of cardboard or a square, if your parents could cut you out a piece to trace, or you could trace a circle. If you have a lid off an oatmeal or a can of coffee or something like that, or a cup, a plate. So those would be your basic shapes that I was gonna start with for my shape monster. So like we said, shape monsters should have things like eyes. I'm gonna draw in Sharpie now so that you can actually see it better. So I'm just gonna outline these. So when you're doing yours, you have to decide what you're going to do them with. Once you draw them in pencil, or you're going to do them with markers, or you're going to use crayons, or you're going to use watercolor, or you're going to use a combination, because it's okay to use a combination of things just to make your artwork look cool. So there's my two shapes. Now I'm going to add some eyes. So I'm going to make this guy be a cyclops. That's somebody with one eye. So I'm going to use a lid from a bottle of Gatorade and just trace that shape. And then I'm going to put a smaller eye inside. So I could draw a smaller eye like that, or I could just draw a small eye like this inside. And that would be the white, that would be the color. And then I'm going to put yet another, and I'm going to leave a little shiny spot inside there. And this part, I'm just going to put those little lines that are around the eye. So that's my monster's eye. Now I need to give my monster a mouth. And mouths can be a shape too. They could be kind of like a sideways D, so make a straight line and then just come down like that. And you could give yourself, your monster, some teeth. And then this monster, I'm gonna have him have two eyes. Maybe I'll make something a little bit smaller. So like I said, you could be doing these in pencil. I really usually wouldn't do it right in marker, but I'm just doing it so you can see in the video what I'm doing. So go ahead and close those up. And maybe this monster is looking up here. He's looking up, something might be on top of his head. And then I have to give this one. So I'm going to give this one kind of what I call a triangle mouth, straight line, and then like that. Maybe he has monster pointy teeth in him. So once you do that, we have to add some arms and legs. So just think of shapes. Does your monster have 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot? I'm going to give this one just a funny little foot like this. So I gave him 3 feet, and then I'm going to add some claws coming out. And I'm going to give him some silly monsters can have wings. They can have, maybe he's a winged monster, and he has some wings. He flies. And I'm going to give him things like horns or a tail. I'm going to give him some big horns using the shape. And if I want to give him a tail, I can give him a tail coming out like that. And maybe he's got spikes on his tail. So there's my one little monster picture. And now I'm going to finish this one. I'll try to finish it upside down for you. I'm going to speed this part up for you. Watch the steps. So there's your little fun monsters. All right, and you can color them with anything you want. You could use markers and color them in. You could add some details. If you want to color with markers, you can color with markers. If you want to color with crayons like I did the other one, you could get your crayons out. And maybe this monster has green arms on them. So when I do use crayons, I like to kind of outline my shape first, because I feel like then I do a better job staying in the lines. And then I go back and forth, little ones. I'm not scribbling, I'm kind of going in a direction. I'm not kind of going all over like this, okay? Because that looks like scribble. So we like to call it organized coloring, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like that. So go ahead and have fun coloring your monsters in. And I'll just talk to you about the background. So if you did this kind of picture instead of the construction paper one I showed you, which is fine, you might want to put your monsters in a little setting. So I'm going to have them kind of outside on a little hill here. Maybe give them some grass that they're in. And then that way when I'm done, if I wanted to switch to watercolors or something and paint my sky around my monsters. If I just want to leave it white and just do the monsters, that's okay too. But some people like me get into art and they want to finish up the whole picture. So when you're working with big areas like sky, it's always good to keep your watercolors a little bit watery so that they don't dry and make hard edges. Put a little water down on your paper until you get some more color. And that way it won't leave edges. So have fun making your monster pictures. This one's been colored with crayons. Any kind of monsters you want, add details to them, make them crazy. I can't wait to see them.